From Southern Colorado's high-definition news leader, this is News Channel 13, where the news comes first.
Good evening and thanks for watching KRDO News Channel 13 at 6. I'm Angelica Lombardi. We are now learning the identities of some of those killed in the Fort Lauderdale airport shooting. This as investigators continue to piece together what led to the attack. Kim Hutcherson reports.
Olga Waltering, a grandmother from Marietta, Georgia, was getting ready for a cruise. Terry Andres of Virginia Beach was on vacation with his wife for his 63rd birthday. Both celebrations were cut tragically short when police say a 26-year-old National Guard veteran who lived in Alaska opened fire in the baggage claim area of the Fort Lauderdale airport. 3 others also lost their lives in the chaos. 6 more were hospitalized.
Full day in their lives and then lose a loved one.
The suspected gunman is being held in the Broward County Jail. Investigators now believe he arrived in Fort Lauderdale with one purpose.
Indications are that he came here to carry out this horrific attack. We have not identified any triggers that would have caused this attack.
And they have not ruled out any motive.
We continue to look at all avenues and all motives for this horrific attack. And at this point, we are continuing to look at the terrorism angle.
Meanwhile, just 24 hours after witnesses described it as a war zone, normalcy is returning to Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. It has reopened and flights have resumed at all 4 terminals. I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
In addition to those killed and wounded, 36 other people were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. And this shooting in Fort Lauderdale is now raising questions about the safety of travelers and areas that don't have a lot of security. Like most airports around the country, in Colorado Springs, there is no security lining the front doors of the airport entrance. Officials say it's because it's nearly impossible to cover every single area and guarantee safety.
Well, we're just going to place them at the entrance, then, the bad guy starts looking at other areas. I think what is a more legitimate plan is to have a plan where you have roaming security.
There have been incidents, and this is not the only one, where things have happened in the lobby. So what are we coming to? Are we going to have to do a TSA check before we even drive our vehicles into the airport or something?
The Florida attack is also raising concerns about guns being carried in luggage. It's currently legal under TSA regulations, but that could soon be under review. And topping our crime tracker this evening, the manhunt for Richard Spanks, a longtime suspect wanted in connection to 3 Colorado Springs homicides, is over. Police believe Spanks played a role in a shooting on Carmel Drive in late November and a double murder on Mosswood Lane. The 25-year-old was taken into custody 3 days ago by FBI agents in Phoenix, Arizona. Special agents also recovered a car that was stolen in Colorado at the same location. Well, the search for Richard Spanks might be over, but the Pueblo Safe Streets Task Force is beginning their own. Police are looking for 23-year-old Federico Valles, who has a warrant for contempt of a court on a burglary charge. They're also on the lookout for 22-year-old Nathaniel Gutierrez. Gutierrez is wanted for failing to comply on a false reporting charge. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of either of these men are asked to call the Pueblo Crime Stoppers at 542-7867. And wrapping up our crime tracker this evening, court documents say a Fort Carson soldier may have sexually assaulted multiple underage girls, including one under 12 years old. 32-year-old Sergeant Luis Melgarejo is facing charges of sexual assault of a child, failure to follow an order, and assault. His court date is scheduled for February 22nd. The Pueblo Police Department says the city had more than 1,000 hit-and-run accidents in 2016, averaging to almost 3 a day. Since 2014, hit-and-runs have increased 24%. The department says there's not a particular area that's seeing a higher amount of incidents in comparison to others, and numbers are constant throughout the year, meaning a particular season is no worse than another. The Pueblo Police Department says there's a number of reasons why people leave the scene of an accident.
A lot of times it has to do with no insurance, no driver's license, and sometimes even intoxication, either by alcohol or drugs.
On KRDO News Channel 13 at 10, we'll tell you why the department believes they're seeing an increase in hit and runs in Pueblo. Now let's take a live look outside at I-25 in Bijou. You can see traffic moving along just fine as we settle into the evening hours. Let's go ahead now and send things over to Storm Tracker 13's meteorologist Nick Carter with a look at our forecast. And Nick, what are we expecting for tonight?
Well, for the eastern plains, we're expecting a fairly calm evening, but for the western slope, hey, we've got some snow starting to show up on live HD Doppler. We'll zoom in out in this area, and we're starting to see across the Grand and Battlement Mesas now this area of snow coming in from the Pacific, part of a pipeline of a series of storms that brought some really heavy snow to the high country with this last weather system, the brutal cold with us. But this one is more of an east-westerly flow, and most of that moisture is going to get stuck up in the mountains, up in the high country. It's not going to make it across the Front Range and eastern plains. In fact, what we're expecting is warmer temperatures, although you wouldn't know that with what we've got right now. We're in the teens, although it's even colder in Pueblo, 15 degrees in Lyman. But all things considered, as cold as it is right now, these temperatures are anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees warmer than what we had this time yesterday. It's okay to see, too, that our winds are less than 10 miles per hour. In fact, the winds are calm in Canyon City and Pueblo, as well as Salida. But there's still a little bit of a wind chill factor in and around the area. It feels like 4 above in Lyman, feels like only 3 above for you folks in La Junta. And the wind chill factor is -2 in Burlington, where it looks awfully cold. They got a good deal of snow with this last storm system as well. So we're talking about a big warm-up for tomorrow and especially for Monday. But it comes at a price, and that means windy conditions. We'll talk about how gusty those winds are going to get for parts of eastern Colorado. But then there's more mountain snow, which we just saw. It even gets heavier for tomorrow and the day after. That'll be great for skiers. Great news for them. Not so great if you're going to be doing some traveling. We'll cover all the bases with our Storm Tracker 13 forecast coming up later in the newscast.
All right, thanks so much, Nick. A Colorado Springs man who was looking for love online is recovering after he was robbed. It all happened around noon yesterday in the 1400 block of Tappan Circle. Police say the man brought a girl home that he had met online. A short time later, 2 suspects, one armed, entered the home and robbed the man of his wallet, jewelry, and gaming stations. His car was also taken by an additional suspect. The incident prompted a message from other dating services. We talked with a downtown matchmaker who has some safety reminders.
If you're meeting someone new for the first time, whether you're meeting them through an online service or anybody, meet them on neutral territory. Don't have somebody come to your house. Don't go to their house. Meet them on neutral territory.
Another tip, make sure you tell a friend or a family member about where you're meeting if you plan to go. Well, we have a programming note to pass along to you this evening. News Channel 13's current contract with DirecTV expires January 10th, which is this Tuesday. KRDO's parent company, News, Press, and Gazette, continues to negotiate in good faith to renew our carriage agreement with DirecTV in an effort to avoid a service disruption. The outcome of this negotiation will only impact subscribers receiving KRDO with a DirecTV subscription. And of course, if you have any questions, you can go to our website, krdo.com, and click on the Save My Local Station link. With the week behind us in the new year and everyone getting back into the normal swing of things, well, now is the perfect time to start those New Year's resolutions that you made. And an expo in Colorado Springs is helping people do just that. The Colorado Springs Fitness Expo was held earlier this morning at the Colorado Springs Auditorium. It offered a place for people to go and talk to different vendors and, of course, participate in some fitness classes. The coordinator of the expo says now is the perfect time to hold something like this while health resolutions are still fresh in people's minds, and offered a tip for people to keep their fitness plans.
It's nice to take that class, meet new people, build that camaraderie, and then they're going to hold you accountable because you're all kind of doing the same class together.
The expo was also a great place for small businesses in the fitness industry to get their name out to the community. A memorial service was held this morning for former KRDO News Radio anchor Paul Richards. He was found dead in his West Colorado Springs home back on December 11th. The memorial was held at the Broadmoor Community Church. Paul had a way of brightening up every room with his warm smile, infectious laugh, and found a way to make everyone feel that they were the most important person in the room. Now we want to take a look back at his incredible radio career that began back in the 80s.
Totally tuned me out.
For many years, Paul Richards, whose real name was Paul Munn, was known as the man behind the music, working as a DJ for various stations along the way before joining the KRDO News Radio morning team in early 2013. His co-anchor, Mike Lewis, remembers